Picture this. It's the dawn of 2024 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now, envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2024 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2024.
Good morning again this wonderful Thursday morning. It's getting chilly here in South Africa. I'm sitting here in Pretoria and I can feel the cold. I've got a jacket on and a top, and I'm feeling really a bit chilled this morning. So morning to all of you. Great to be here again. And today we've actually got two very interesting people with us. We've got Wilhelm Lombard and we've got Daniel.
How you guys doing?
Good to see you guys. Really great to see you guys. So today we're going to be talking about a fantastic subject, the mastering the art of AI-driven communication. Now, when we looked at the subject, we thought, gee whiz, what are we going to say about this subject? But the interesting part is that AI is now here for keeps, and it's here for us to use. So before we go into this whole thing, I'm going to actually ask Wilhelm to introduce himself, and then I'm going to ask Daniel to introduce himself. Wilhelm, over to you.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everybody. My name is Wilhelm Lombard, and I'm a life energy coach. I help companies to perform better, people to perform better. If you don't have the energy, you can't really perform. So that's what I do. And I'm looking forward to today's chat. I think it's a strange one in a sense for me, but on the other side, it's exciting. So let's talk.
Fantastic. Welcome, Wilhelm. Great to have you here. Daniel, please introduce yourself. Great to have you here on the platform today.
It's good to be here. So thank you, guys. So my name is Daniel. I'm a marketing coach from Johannesburg. I travel. And one of the things I'm really enjoying is empowering people with AI tools, because a lot of people don't want to get on camera. A lot of people don't want to take advantage of getting out there. So I'm showing people how to leverage off of AI and incorporate it into marketing. And it's actually very, very cool what you can do nowadays. So if you are jumping on board with AI, great, you are going to get ahead of your competitors. But if you're not going to use AI, then what's going to happen is you are going to be replaced. That's the thing. So that's what I'm really going to hope that we're going to focus on and just get people out of their comfort zone.
Fantastic to have you here, Daniel. And we're really looking forward to all your insights into AI. Well, today what we're going to be doing is we've divided into, as we normally do, into 5 areas. And we're going to be looking at empathy and emotional intelligence with regard to AI and the utilization of that. The clarity and precision in AI interactions, which is really something that we need to look at as well. And then ethical considerations and privacy. That's something I think is really important, because, it's not just about using AI, because then who's the writer? AI, not you. So that's something that we need to think about. And then obviously there's a lot of adaptability and learning that can come from using AI. And obviously we need to look at that and how to use it. And then lastly, we're going to look at the AI human partnership and how we're going to take this into the future. And I think that's the most interesting part of this. I mean, how do we actually use AI? Are we going to be replaced by robots? Aha, that's the question. So let's start with the empathy and emotional intelligence. I want to just start with a short story for you. Now, just imagine a chatbot. You know what a chatbot is, obviously. Those things that you go along and you ask questions on a chat and it gives you an answer, right? So imagine this chatbot called Sam that can tell someone's feeling if they're sad by just chatting to them. Now, this is something that's, can AI actually do that? Can Sam notice when somebody's feeling sad by the words they're using? And can he actually respond by saying comfortable things? Can AI actually do this? Now, this is something that we need to look at, because obviously being empathetic and emotional and having emotional intelligence is something that we as humans have, but does AI have it? And I'm going to ask Daniel to maybe start with this question. Does AI have emotional intelligence? Over to you, Daniel. Daniel, you're muted.
Sorry, guys, this button is glitching. Please excuse the noise in the background. I don't live alone. So the thing I've learned with AI is absolutely emotionless. It doesn't necessarily care. It literally just gets you the facts. And the reason why I use AI is sometimes I don't have time to be creative, so I need a little bit of a help. So I go to ChatGPT and I basically program to give me like 2-3 scripts. And then from those 2-3 scripts, I look at which one talks to me. And then I will start to edit and say, okay, cool. Because here's the thing with AI. AI does not have creativity. So a lot of people are being threatened by AI. No, you must use AI for the analytical stuff. And then you bring in your creativity. So the thing that I'm going to explain with AI is a lot of people, they don't realize if you become lazy and you use AI, what's going to happen is people are going to realize that, hey, this is just very generic. And if you don't put creativity in, and if you don't put the emotions in, people will discern and realize, hey, you know what? I'm talking to AI. This email is all AI response. So it is very important that you ask certain questions, that you bring the human element to it. Because if you don't do this, people are going to discern very quickly, hang on, this is all programmed. I can feel that this is unauthentic. So like when I sense that, I'm like, you know what, I'll just lose credibility in a brand, and I'll just be like, let me not waste my time here. So I'm going to tell people, get out of your comfort zone and use AI with your creativity, with your human emotions. People still appreciate that. So it's not going to replace you necessarily. If you are lazy, it will. Yes.
I love that. Yeah, it's one of the things that I've learned, in business using AI, is that you can actually train AI to do certain things. So, for example, there's a thing called the bank code. Now, some of you might know the bank code. It's basically a methodology where you have the blue personality, you have the action personality, you have the nurturing personality, and you have the knowledge personality. Now, what you can do is you can actually train your AI, especially if you're using GPT, ChatGPT 4.0, you can actually train it to actually address those various factors and actually write something that's according to those various different types of people. But as Daniel says, it's not going to be emotional. It's not going to pick up whether you're sad and then give you comfort. So I think that's very important. And that's where the energy comes in. And I'd like to ask Wilhelm to maybe bring his thoughts into this. Thank you, Wilhelm. Over to you.
Thank you, David. Yes, my study field is all about human beings. That's the study, how people work. And it's all about energy. I always say, without energy, you can't do anything. You need the energy, but we're still humans, and humans are the same. We didn't change much over hundreds and hundreds of years. We still operate in the same way. Now, humans or emotions is a human thing. And that's why when we talk about emotional intelligence, it's something that humans need to understand. And I must say, I think few people really are emotionally intelligent. Now, what the AI can do for you or for me, well, it helped me quite a bit. I can tell you I'm not so good with putting all my ideas on paper, and sometimes I just ChatGPT, for instance, helped me a lot to just get the words right. But the thing is, you still need to be intelligent yourself and understand what you put in and what you get out. But because, as Daniel said, I mean, you can quickly get an idea, but this is just a machine talking, and it's not. You need to check it. You need to have the knowledge, and I think that is the problem that we sit with in today's age, because there's lots of people, they didn't do their studies, for instance, and they in Afrikaans we say hulle eet alles vir soetkoek op. They just take everything as if it is the truth. And you need to understand what is the truth and what is not the truth. And you need to know that. You need to use your common sense as well. But concerning emotional intelligence, I think AI can help us to understand a little bit of that, because AI, what you give in, it will work with that. And the nice thing, it get all the information very, very quickly to you back. But it's all about what we put in. So maybe it can help us a little bit to understand it a bit better. But yes, there's no emotions, as Daniel said, and we are still human beings, and we will stay human beings until the end of days. Né? So that's important to remember that, and we will not be. I don't think machines or technology will take us over, but it can help us. Always, it can help. And one of the most important emotions is love. AI can't give you love, so we still need to have that, and we still need to be human beings.
I agree with you totally there, Adam. AI can't, you can't fall in love with AI. I don't think so. I mean, but you can fall in love with it as far as helping you is concerned. And I must say that's where it's really helping me in my business. To clarify things, to get ideas, and so on. But from an emotional point of view, I totally agree with Daniel. Let's go on to the next subject, which I think is really important, and that's clarity and precision in regard to AI interactions. Now, when I started with computers many years ago, one of the things that I learned very early on: rubbish in, rubbish out, garbage in, garbage out. So, and I remember doing an Excel spreadsheet and getting the formulas wrong and so on and so forth. And the information that was giving me out was absolutely incorrect. I used to do social economic impact studies, and one of the things I had to make sure was that the logic was absolutely correct. Otherwise, whatever I put in would be, and the information, the data that I get out would be absolutely incorrect. So that's something that I think is really important with regard to AI. Knowing how to ask the question and how to actually clarity with it, so that you're actually addressing the scenario. So now, one of the things that I think Wilhelm said earlier, which is so true, people nowadays, they'll read something and just trust that that's true. With propaganda happening, what's happening in Israel at the moment, there's a lot of propaganda, and one must actually decipher what is true and what is not true. And it's the same thing with AI. And I like Daniel's opinion on this, because Daniel comes from a perspective of being an AI expert, and I really like his point of view of actually, how do you actually give AI the right question to give you the right answer? Over to you, Daniel.
Okay, so one thing, can I just tell you guys 2 stories about AI that people need to realize? You can clone yourself. And there's a story that's going around where someone in a bank, asked someone, listen, please, can you transfer a whole bunch of money? I don't know if you guys heard the story. And the guy was like feeling uncomfortable. So what he did is he said, don't worry, we'll do a Zoom. And he got everyone in the bank on this Zoom and basically said, okay, cool, please, can you wire this 100 million US dollars? So, I mean, the guy was like, okay, well, everyone is here. And what the guy didn't realize is every single person on that was cloned from the bank and basically made it look like they were on a Zoom. So that's the dangers of AI, which I find, it's interesting stories. The other one is my wife was telling me now that, they basically they started picking up that a lot of people were using AI to write their reports and, to write the essay. So now what they've done is they've literally made the whole entire class redo it. So that's the one side of AI. So I just felt I wanted to share those stories. So sorry, what was the question again?
So the question really is about how does one actually ensure the questions that you ask? How do you write a question that will actually give you the right answer with AI? How do you actually do that?
So I guess for me, what I've been doing is, so I've got a couple of workshops that I've been busy with, and I was like, oh, how can I get a hook for these? How can I get a hook? A good hook that's going to attract people. So what I would start to do is what I found is AI is basically, because I'm going to say this, it's just not like you're talking to a human. It's simple instructions. So it's like, give me a hook on marketing, and then you got to ask it, give me an inviting, warm, welcoming hook. And for me, it's literally just, you got to understand this, you are talking to a robot. So it's like when I generate AI images, so I've got my entire vision board, as I've shown you, David, it's all AI generated, like everything. And basically what I would do is I would give it such simple instructions. So I'd say with AI, the how to ask it a question is, be as simple and as logical as you can. It's like, give me, you can say to it, how long is the distance between Earth to the moon? And then and then it can give you a distance, but you've got to actually say, from this point of the Earth to that point. So what I found with AI is it's when you're generating pictures, or when you're asking it questions, or when you're doing research, you got to ask it straightforward questions, straightforward, as simple as you can.
To get there, I'm also battling to find that button. So yeah, no, I actually agree with you that. But one of the things that I've also learned is that you can actually say to ChatGPT, act as a copywriter and give me the following script in the following format. Again, being very directive. Or you can say, be a neuroscientist and give me an answer to the following question on neuroscience. So you can actually, give it like those type of instructions, and it will actually then give you a very clear answer. There was one of the things that AI has done is it's actually divided into a number of areas. There's the style of how to get back to the modeling of it, and then obviously the information that's there. So one of the things that you can do is you can actually teach AI to actually learn certain things and actually start to respond very similar to how you would respond to a client, for example. So you can actually take a number of documents that you've written in the past, and you can actually then import that into ChatGPT 4.0, and then basically teach it. Say, okay, this is how I write, this is the format that I do, this is the style that I use, and then you can actually ask ChatGPT to rewrite that something new based on that formula, and it does it incredibly well. So have you experienced this, Daniel? Have you experienced how to do that?
Okay, so one of the things that I'm still playing around with ChatGPT is I have realized that ChatGPT has got some competitors on the rise. And then there's DarkGPT, where you can access more information. One of the things that I am going to be getting into is basically, I've got some stories that I want to write, and I'm going to put it through ChatGPT. And, obviously it's going to give me my titles, hooks. It's going to lay it out nicely for me. And for a guy like me that, doesn't really check for spelling errors in my own stuff, it's nice to use AI platforms to assist you with where everything should go, how it should be structured. So that is one thing where I am going to be looking more into, because we have an idea. Let's write a book. So we put it on the vision board, and then we don't get it done because it's the starting the process. And the one thing I do like about this idea is getting ChatGPT to really get you started. You basically start the initial process, and then AI helps you finish the process. So I'm definitely going to be starting it, and I encourage people to do that. Get yourself motivated, because if I may, David, can I just jump off topic quickly?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize this, right? But we're seeing this more and more, that people are slowly but surely, being replaced in certain fields, because AI machines are basically able to now do farming. They're able to do packaging. They're able to do deliveries. And what I'm going to say to people is, find a solution, find where the problems are, and use AI to find a solution for you. What do I mean by that? I'm meaning people that, like I've seen now that Starbucks literally has these little cubes. Starbucks is being replaced by these little cubes that are popping up everywhere, these little pop-up coffee shops. And it's literally just an AI machine that's making people coffee. And what I'm going to say to people is leverage on that. Leverage on that. If you have an idea and you want to empower yourself, then you know what? Use AI to help you to start that business. Because one thing we know is, let's talk about the future quickly. We know when the next, lockdowns come, we know that stores are going to be closing down. We know that, places like what we've got here in South Africa, Pick and Pay, there's already talks about it, where they're going to literally be getting rid of humans, and they're going to be using AI to basically handle that process. So people can sit there and be scared, or they can say, you know what, I'm going to leverage off on this. I'm going to get my book out early. I'm going to set up my online course. I'm going to create something where I can bring people in. And I'm going to say to you, use AI now to help you and assist you.
I was just thinking of a story. Well, it's actually a cartoon I saw. There was this guy in this cartoon, and he was working in the factory, and his job was to actually take the paste, the actual the holder of the toothpaste, the holder, and actually put the screw on the top. So he put the screw on top of the toothpaste, right? And this is what he did, and that we did all day. And then one day the boss came to him and said, by the way, you've been replaced by a machine. And he saw this machine, and basically now the machine actually did exactly what he did, and it did more efficiently and faster. So now he was very upset, and he went away, and he didn't know what to do, and he basically didn't get money. And then one day the machine broke. So guess what? He went and figured out how to fix the machine, and then went back and said, okay, I can fix the machine. So I think that's exactly talking to what you were saying, Daniel. We need to actually really start thinking, okay, fine, AI is going to replace me with regard to this, but how can I actually, what else can I do? What added value can I bring in? And one of the things about doing this whole thing about clarity is actually becoming a prompt engineer. You can actually become a prompt AI engineer, where you actually learn how to actually do the correct prompting to get the right answers from AI. Because, as we said, garbage in, garbage out.
100%. If I can just say one more story. So I went for a meeting the other day, and I met a company here in Johannesburg, and they're basically a data company. So what they've done is they've taken their data, incorporated it with AI. So what they do is they got two product offerings. One is they will give you an emailing list of the exact people you need to speak to. And basically, for us guys who are coaches and we wanted to target corporates who wanted to hire us, we could literally go to them and say, hey, listen, we need these exact people. So they've got all the emails. What else they are doing, which I found was pretty awesome, is they set up AI on LinkedIn messaging. So they basically program all these messages to go out there, and all these direct messages on your LinkedIn. So here's the thing. That takes me sometimes a whole hour to an hour and a half to do of messaging every day on LinkedIn to try and get prospects. So if I can get AI to do that for me, and I'm paying for a service and then paying for the leads that I get, guess what? That hour that I'm saving a day, I can actually focus on another business to generate passive income. So what I'm going to say to people is this. Use AI to free up your time. And with that time that you've got, either spend it with your loved ones, spend it with the Lord your God, spend it meditating, build another business on the side. Go and do, be smart about time. And that's what I do like about AI. Sure, it is threatening a lot of industries, but hey, what if you were to be a visionary and you could use AI to write you books, to write you manuals, to write you courses so that you could empower the people around you? That's where I'm going to say to people, leverage off of AI. Don't be threatened by it. Use it to your advantage. That's just my thoughts on that.
No, absolutely, very good. I think that brings us. I don't know, Wilhelm, would you like to have something to say about this? Being clear about what you want from AI and actually how to write it. Over to you, Wilhelm.
Yeah, definitely, David. Thinking from a life energy perspective, the idea of AI can either drain your energy or it can give you energy. I'm very, very excited about this whole situation because it helped me a lot. It freed a lot of time, and it helped me to do the things that I only thought of. I mean, I always thought of writing a book, but it was always difficult. Now it's easy to do that. So, when we think about energy, now the biggest energy draining factor in life is stress. Now, stress is a huge word. There's a lot of things, but how does it work? I always say we sit with an old operating system. Our operating system is made where we get out of the cave, go out to find some food, and then every now and then there's a lion jumping out of the bush, and we get into fight or flight or freeze mode, and we handle the situation. Now the same thing happen when you think AI is a threat, because now you go into fight or flight mode and it drain your energy and you feel miserable, depressed, and you will lose your job and there's no opportunities and what will happen to the world and all those negative emotions, and you might sit in the corner and say life is over. But rather say, but listen, what can I do about this? How can this improve my life? How can I become a better person using AI? And then it's not life threatening anymore. Then it energizes you to get up and go up and move forward and make the best of life, because we live in exciting times. This is the best time we can live in.
We are living in very exciting times at the moment with AI and that. And I must say, I'm very excited as well. I mean, it gives huge opportunity. It makes things much faster. And I think this is, one of the things that I was looking at one of the old movies the other day, and, life in the 1920s was slow. I mean, it would take you like 2 months or so to get from England to South Africa, for example, Now you can, in a few hours, you can actually be in England, if you need to be. So this is what's happening with AI. It's making our life much faster. Everything's going much faster. But as Daniel says, let's take advantage of that and actually use the time more productively rather than actually doing more work. And I think that's one of the things that, what you're saying, Wilhelm, from an energy point of view, AI, by actually giving us the information much faster that we may need, and allowing us to be more productive. It actually, what about our energy? Are the energy that we use up in actually doing that? Isn't it draining us? Over to you, Wilhelm.
You see, getting busy fast, we are not programmed to be fast, in a sense that we are still actually programmed with our old operating system, going from one town to another town, walking with our sandals. That's how we are actually we are programmed. And now technology is so fast because things are happening so fast. And that's why we tend to, we got 7 different energy tanks. That is our physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, social, work and finance energy tanks. We need to open those energy tanks. We need to fill those tanks. Now, because of our lifestyle, this quick world we live in, we tend to forget about filling our tanks. We don't sleep enough. We don't eat healthy. We don't have quiet times where we enjoy nature, where we fill up our tanks. And that's the problem with this. The problem is now, many years ago, we guys come from before computers. And not you, Daniel, but we. But okay, so, and that is the thing. At that stage, as you've mentioned, life was slower. I talked to another guy the other day. He said when he received a fax, it was that long roll, that long piece of paper. Then you need to go to the photocopier machine and make copies of that. And then he start to work on that document. Nowadays, you get at least 200 to 300 emails per day, and you need to handle that very, very quickly. It's impossible. You will burn out. And that is the thing. We can use this technology, and we thought many years ago we would have been finished with a job by 10 o'clock in the morning because of what computers can do for us. But it actually become just more and more, and the pressure was more, and now we burn out. That at that stage, let's say 20, 30 plus years ago, there was not even the word burnout. People didn't know the word burnout. When I searched the internet for burnout, I get these things where they spin their wheels until it blow out. That was burnout. And now today you can talk to almost every person. They are on the road of possible burnout. Before COVID or the lockdown, I did a survey, and 94% of our people in South Africa at that stage were at some stages of burnout. I don't know what, I think it's worse now. So I want to do the survey again. But the thing is, we need to understand it's a good thing. AI is a good thing, but it loosens some time so that, as Daniel mentioned, now you can spend more time with your family, fill your social tank, and so on, your spiritual tank, and all those things. But we tend to just move faster because now there's more opportunity to make more money. You mentioned that as well, Daniel. Now there's another opportunity. You can make more money. You see, money sometimes is the driving force of lots of things, but that is the burnout factor as well, because it's not just about money. It's about filling all your energy tanks so that you can have a balanced life. Otherwise, you burn out before your time. And burnout happened between 33 and 55. And lots of people, burnout shows when your marriage pack up and your health pack up and all those things happen. So we need to use this wonderful technology to loosen up some time so that we can fill our energy tanks. That's where I see the great opportunity of AI. It can help us to become human beings again.
Mm-hmm. I can actually, totally agree with that. And I think that brings us on to the next subject, which is ethical considerations and privacy. When AI talks to us and learns from our conversations, it needs to respect our privacy and be clear about how it uses our information. Now, this means that we must make sure that our data is safe. Now, one of the things that obviously we can do is that one of the things that we can do in our lives is to ensure that we don't share too much information. And this is one of the things that I've learned. For example, I don't share on my Facebook or that anything about my family. All right. I try and reduce that amount of sharing because of the possibility of other people pinching my my profile and so on. And actually, in fact, my profile has been my Facebook profile has been duplicated twice. So 2 people out there have actually duplicated my Facebook page, and they've actually gone along and captured photographs. They've got a picture of me as well, and that is the danger of what's happening in this world. And I had a look at this other profile, which is a total not me, but it's a situation of it where it's actually now got my face. It's got 700 people on there. So there's 700 people talking to a David Bauer that's not me, and they are that person who's actually now captured my Facebook page is falsifying the information that I have. And when you go along and click onto their website, it's a totally different website. So now this is the danger. And I have gone along to Facebook and said to them, by the way, can you please sort this out? They haven't done it. So where does that leave me? Where does it leave you? Daniel, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I'm going to respond here with the most unfortunate problem that we all have with social media is cloning. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the dangers. 100%, David, agree with you. It's something I keep asking my wife. I'm like, please don't post the pictures of the kids because it's dangerous. Because of the work we do, I don't need people to know what our kids look like. The problem we've got here with AI, and this is a very scary concern, is that when you're posting pictures of your kids, people can take the pictures of your kids, stick them onto AI pictures where they will literally start putting your children's face on a naked body on AI. Then they start selling these children. So there's online bids going on for people's children. So my strong message to people is do not post pictures of your family, of your children on social media, because it's dangerous. The second thing is 2020, my Facebook got hacked. David, same with you. I had 5 Facebook profiles, 5 Facebook pages that I was busy managing with credit card details loaded on there. So they took 24,000 Rand of ad spend. Back then it was about, I think, $1,200, somewhere there, $1,500, and they were just running these ads. Thank heavens we picked it up in time. But again, contacted Facebook, nothing happened. So that was a Facebook profile with 5,000 followers that I had. I had 5 different pages plus credit card details loaded. Until today, I cannot access it. So what I'm going to suggest, and just one more, I've got someone who's also cloned my TikTok account, and they've already got 8,000 followers, plus they're following 2,000 people. And now people don't pick up that there's a 0, there's an O at the end of the surname. I don't have an O at the end of my surname. But here's the thing. It's these people that see, hey, you influential, so they clone your account, and then they start adding all the same people. So one of the things you must do is put it on privacy settings. The other thing I'm going to suggest is 2-factor authentication. Get an antivirus, because obviously people can start to contact you and start to plant stuff on your phone or your PC. The one last thing I'm going to say is data is the new gold. Everybody's after data. How many times has Facebook now been hacked? So I can tell you now, whoever hacked Facebook, they're sitting with our precious information. The other thing I'm going to say with artificial intelligence on apps is these apps like Temu. You know the Temu app that just popped up everywhere? First of all, these guys are after your data. They have access to your pictures. So for the guys and the girls that have naughty pictures on your cell phone, there's certain apps that when you download it, they're getting access into those dirty pictures that you've got. And they've got access to your passwords. So I'm just going to encourage people, be so very careful with social media. It's a digital world. They can access you quickly. They can clone you. They can kick you out of your own system. My other suggestion is, for people that do banking, have a separate telephone number, not a number that everyone has access to. Have a private email that nobody has access to. These are just the safety concerns that I've picked up.
One of the things that I've now learned is that, whenever you have to subscribe to something, you have to give them your email address, right? So what I've done now is I've created another email address that I give to them. I've got 48,000 emails on that email address. which I haven't opened ever. I'm never going to open them. But that's what's happened. You know, you subscribe to something, you have to give the email address. Okay, I give them another email address that you don't use, and just let that, you know, they can email you. It's their waste of their time. But and the emails that I do use from business, I don't give out, except to people that I know and trust. So that's something that is really a very, very good tip. Well, Helen, from your point of view, understanding the ethical side of it and understanding your, privacy and so on, what's your viewpoint on that? Specifically from an energy point of view.
While you're talking about this, I getting into fight or flight mode. It stressed me out, that this is possible, that people can just grab your stuff and that you actually have no control over it in a sense. We think, we trust, and all those things. But I think from AI, in a sense, can help me to be, to reduce ambiguity and biasing or whatever. When it helped me to formulate some emails or a story or whatever, it's pretty much neutral in a sense. So it, usually it's not about religion, it's not about race and all those type of things. So it helped me maybe to be more not biased and to formulate my response in a certain way. So it take the emotion out of it, so it help in that sense. Of course, I need to think about that as well and use my creative brain to be able to manage that as well. So in that sense, I think it empower human beings to be more straightforward, not too much emotion into your response, for instance, when there's a response. So in that sense, I think it helped me to be a bit more ethical, considering lots of other people and not just talking or trying to portray my point of view now. But there's limits, and I still need to use my common sense. So in that sense, AI is of value for me, and it's very important, as I said at the beginning, to use your common sense, because it only use information that it got from wherever, and it's very nice. So I don't have to do all that research and read the books and go to the library as we used to do many years ago, lots of times, but it's quick and easy now. But yes, we still need to be the ethical one in whatever message we send out and we receive from ChatGPT or some artificial intelligence.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that, Wilhelm. I think that brings us on to the next point of view, and that's really the point of adaptability and learning, the ability of AI to learn from interactions and improve over time for a more meaningful exchange with us. Now, and this is one of the things that I've used, as I said before, with using ChatGPT 4.0, is that you actually can create your own ChatGPT within that, give it its own name, and then you can actually teach it. And that's what I was mentioning before, where you actually can go along and give it information and then say, okay, using that information, using the style, the modeling of that, now use that same style and model for the following. And that's very, very powerful, because then what also you can do is, when you write something, you can create your own prompting that is similar, so that every time you get the same type of answer to it. So, and another question that I have also, which I use on ChatGPT to teach it, is I will get it to write something, I'll then do some modifications to it, and then I'll put it back in and ask ChatGPT to analyze it and to find the mistakes in it. And then it will identify the mistakes, and then I'll get it again to now say, okay, now rewrite it, including those highlights that you've indicated, and get it to rewrite the thing. And then basically you've got something that you can really start using. But it's all about teaching it. Daniel, from your perspective, how have you used ChatGPT to help you?
Okay, so how I've used ChatGPT is actually from an informational point of view. So there's some, if I have to use Google and I have to go find an article or I have to find some information, I get a lot of different searches. Whereas what I like about ChatGPT is you ask it one question, you get a direct answer, and it tells you where the sources are. So it just saves you time. Funny thing, but AI is mentioned twice in the Bible. That's the funny thing. People don't even realize this, but there was a city called AI, and AI is also mentioned in Revelation. It's quite interesting, and actually even in Daniel. So AI has been foreseen by the prophets of old, and one of the things that I also know about AI is some people, they got to watch this. My suggestion is every day a person's goal should be just take 5 minutes of your time and just watch a video. Just say AI trends, AI tools, AI platforms that are coming up, and just study every day something new. And within a month, you will actually have AI mastered, because a lot of people tend to be like freaked out about it. And I was too. I didn't like this. I didn't like the fact of AI being so intelligent, because I was like, no, but we need to be there. We need to have that intelligence. But then when I learned, actually, we can use this. And here's the thing that I'm seeing is if you can build yourself up with AI, meaning you know which apps can help you with your messaging, what can help you with your social media schedule posts, can help you write articles, can help you write certain posts that you can put out there, schedule it. You know what, you can actually have quite a relaxed business environment. If you know exactly which tools can solve your problems, then why not go for it? So how it's helped me is realizing that, hey, I can automate processes. At the end of the day, that's what business is. Find a solution, offer that solution, automate the damn thing, and guess what? You got a business. Now you can start a new business. And that's what I do love about ChatGPT, is it helps me with the information. Like, hey, where can I get this? Where can I get that? What can I do if this is my problem? This is the equation. Solve it for me. So that's what ChatGPT has allowed me to do. So for example, my AI marketing workshop, I've literally been sold out with that. Why? Because I literally could create everything on ChatGPT, like the whole script, and then I would just edit it slightly, and it would even put all the little icons there. I send it off, send it out. What I used to also struggle with is, David, I meet a guy like you, and I say, all right, David, tell me what you do. And you're like, I do this, I do that, I do this and that, SEO, Google ranking. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then I would sit there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what was your elevated pitch. Now I just go to ChatGPT. Hey, listen, I'm a coach. I do AI marketing. I do SEO. I do Google ranking. Give me a 30-second script. And guess what? That's your script. Bang. Done. And then we run it through another app, and I say, give me a voiceover. It gives me a voiceover, an AI voiceover, which sounds real. And then I say, all right, cool. Give me some text, not text. Yeah, give me text to speech here as well. So now we've got your voiceover, we've got your pitch, we've got your text, captions. And then I can even say, listen, you can program ChatGPT now to do your video for you. So guess what? You've got an entire video. Didn't even take you time. If you were to do that with me, a year ago, I would charge you the equivalent of $150 to produce something like that for you. Nowadays, I can be replaced if I'm not careful. So that's what ChatGPT did for me.
Yeah, and and the thing is, it's available to anyone out there. But obviously, the big thing is obviously the expertise, and it comes back to the fact is, what is the truth? What is real out there? Because this is what people got to be careful of. ChatGPT could give you stuff that's not true, and then who's going to know that? So yeah, I think that's a very good point, Daniel. Thanks for that. But Helen, from your point of view, I've noticed we've got 10 minutes left. So, and we've got one more section to go through. So maybe we should go on to that. Or Wilhelm, do you want to talk a little bit about adaptability and learning?
David, yeah, the thing is, as I said earlier, one must think about how can it actually energize your business, your life. How can you it loosen up some time for you and use that? On the ethical side, I just want to say, yes, one must be careful because don't eat anything for soup cook. All the information that you receive, you must verify that. The problem today is that any guy can actually use chat gpt or ai, and you think that person is a specialist on what they do, but they are actually nothing. They don't know. They're only good using the ai. And that can catch up with you. Those type of people are the people that want to hack you, they want to actually bullshit you all the way. They want to steal your money. They don't care to hit and run. So be careful about that and make sure the people that you talk with, they, it's there's they are authentic. Be careful. That's all that I can say on that point. Thank you.
Great. Well, let's talk about the next part, and that's really the partnership between how humans and AI can collaborate in enhancing communication outcomes, but not replace them. And I think this is something that, there's a lot of different models that AI can be used to actually help us. Now, for example, I use a thing called Waze on my cell phone, right? Now, there is an element of AI in there because what happens is it's basically there are a lot of Waze users. Now, Waze is basically like a GPS. It tells you about the traffic and gives you the fastest route to travel. Now, AI has been used in that because what happens is it's actually gaining data from myself as a driver. So if I see a speed cop, which I do, and then I go along and I identify the speed cop is in that location, I can say it's on this side of the road, it's hidden, or it's on that side of the road. And basically, then that actually informs other drivers. So it's actually a system where it's helping people to actually identify a faster route. Now, this morning, for example, I had to, when I was driving to come back to work, I had to actually find the fastest way to get here. And Waze actually showed it to me because what it did was analyzed all the data that's been given by other people through the AI, and then it actually gives me the fastest route to travel. Now, there are a lot of AI-driven apps out there, and I think that's where AI really can help humans to actually improve their lives. The other day I actually didn't use AI. I didn't use Waze, and I was stuck in the traffic for 45 minutes. Some of you can relate to that because there was this massive storm in Centurion, and the traffic was mayhem. And what should have taken me 7 minutes took me 45 minutes. Why? I didn't use Waze. So, Daniel, from your point of view, how can AI help humans in their daily lives?
So here's the thing I'm going to suggest. Start simple. So for example, with ChatGPT, my son actually knew it before I did. And I was feeling like a bit of a chop because here's my son. I'm asking him stuff and then he's just running to ChatGPT. So the one day I was like, why don't I just freaking do that? And I started to do that. So what I'm going to suggest to people is start simple. Just download the thing, have a look at your privacy concerns. Maybe consider getting, what do you call that? You get like an ad blocker, then you also get a VPN, virtual private network, just for your own safety, because obviously you're opening yourself up to a new world. And just spend like I said, 5 minutes a day, just download an app and then have a look at the tutorial of that. So watch someone breaking it down for you. So for example, go learn something new every day. And start small. Just start small, asking questions, building a bit of knowledge about it. I guess it's like with TikTok. In the beginning, I was so not keen on TikTok. And yes, TikTok is a woke organization, but what I've done is I've leveraged off of it anyway. I built myself a global audience. I've got a following now, I think, of 37,000 people. When I do lives, I connect with people all around the world. And with the marketing apps that I was using, to make videos, there's AI built into it. So AI is being built into everything now. So what I'm going to suggest to people is there's three things, in video editing that I had to help people overcome. Is one, they don't like the way they look, they don't like the way they sound. But the third thing is people think they're too old for something, that they've missed the boat. AI is still pretty new. So what I'm going to suggest to people is just start, play around with it, get used to it, have a look on YouTube and just say, a Canva tutorial, CapCut tutorial, ChatGPT tutorial. And that is the way I would tell people to start. Just start there with the small things and build your knowledge base and work your way up.
Oh, great advice there, Daniel. Thank you so much. Please follow Daniel on LinkedIn and connect with him. And Wilhelm, over to you. Can you give us a bit of a wrap up from an energy?
Yes, thank you, David. In our previous sessions, we talk a lot about purpose of life. And I want to say, yes, go out. Let me first say this. One of the other big energy draining factors today is information. We are bombarded by information, too much information. That's why lots of people know a little bit of a lot, but actually they know nothing because there's so many things. And I also fall into that trap because I always want to learn. And quickly you can be bombarded by all this information, little bit here, little bit there, little bit there. At the end, you think you know something, but you don't know nothing, as I said, and that can be dangerous. So I would suggest that find your meaning and purpose. What are you? What's the reason for your life on earth here? And now you focus on that and get that information. So that can energize your business. It can energize your life. It can, Daniel mentioned about the old people. I'm 62 years of age and I want to learn more and more about this wonderful technology and things. But to be able to save myself so that I won't burn out, I need to focus and say, this is what I'm going for. And this is where I'm going to put my energy in. And then AI will give me the energy because it interests me. It's the things that I like. And that is the way you can eat that elephant, little bit by little bit, but in your direction and the purpose of your life. Thank you very much. That's my part.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Wilhelm. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, so from my point of view, why Vision 2024? Well, the whole idea of Vision 2024 is to actually allow you to actually find your purpose and to find your big why. Why are you here? What are you doing here? And one of the things that you can use ChatGPT to actually really help you to figure that out. Go along and write something about yourself and then ask ChatGPT, ask the question and do some research using it. ChatGPT is there to help us to actually improve our lives and use it. And that's why we actually had this discussion. And I really like to thank Daniel and Wilhelm for being here today. Please join us next week. And I really, we do this every Thursday. Come and join us. We have different discussions to help you to actually progress your life. So I'd like to just say thank you to all of you guys for being here. Thanks for listening to us. And I'm going to quickly show the video and then I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care and have a really good week. And we'll see you next Thursday. We'll have another subject. Watch out on LinkedIn. Ciao. Bye.
Picture this. It's the dawn of 2024 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now, envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2024 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2024.